Hello, my name is Adrina, and I am the owner and accountant here at Accounting by Adrina LLC. I am so excited because today I am going to take you behind the scenes and show you exactly how I manage all of my bookkeeping clients within Asana. Now, I am a QuickBooks Pro advisor, so I manage all of their bookkeeping within QuickBooks, but as far as the workflow is concerned, we use Asana for that, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. Stick around. All right, when you head over to Asana, you're going to see this page as the starting page. So you want to make sure you either create an account or start with your own account for that matter. All right, I'm logging in with my Google account. And this is going to be the home page that comes right up. So this is the starting page. Now, when I am talking about all of my bookkeeping clients, I have a new project board right here that's called New Client. So you can also kind of remove that sidebar with these three lines here. And I've already set up kind of like a structure that a new client would need. So what we could do is come over here and copy. So I'm going to duplicate this project. So we're just going to say duplicate of new client, and it's going to create all of these same tasks and subtasks. So this is really, really, really simple, very easy and straightforward. It says the duplicate of new client is being created, and now it's created. So what we can do here is start personalizing it. So when you're bringing on your first bookkeeping client, you want to make sure that you're gathering as much information as possible, right? So when I have this task set up already that says new client proposal, fill me out, this is all of the pertinent information that I'm going to need for each of my clients. And this is a very great place to house it because I can always open this up and see, okay, what's the legal name of the company? What's the name of the company? What's the contact name, website, email? Everything will be in one place, which is why I like it. So this is the first thing I fill out. So you also want to make sure that you know the number of users and then their current software. For example, if you're moving someone over from a different software like Wave or like Xero or something like that, you just want to make note of that because maybe you're going to need to refer to that at a later time with your client, and you just want to make sure that you're saying the right terms with the right client. So it also asks for the EIN, the tax form, and the year end. So most of the clients are on an annual year basis, but some of the nonprofit clients have a fiscal year. So you want to make sure that you keep track of all of that information. So once that's all filled out, then you can either make sure that you have your client contract all prepped and ready to go, and you can also assign a due date for that. So let's just say I'm starting with a new client, and the new client contract I want to make sure that I have in place by November 1st. So I'm going to say November 1st there, and I'm going to assign it to myself. Okay, so then we can close that out. Now this is where it really gets interesting because depending on the number of bank accounts, credit cards, those types of things, you're going to want to keep track of each and every one of them. So also depending on the number of transactions. So you want to take that into consideration. Maybe this is a client that has only one bank account and one credit card. Maybe they have a savings account as well, and it's all connected with their business. So you want to do weekly soft reconciliations for each of those accounts. So you can either list it here. So let's say bank card, credit card, and savings account. And what this is telling you to do is, let's say we're going to set this up for, it's going to start after our contract starts, which is November 1st. And we're going to say this is going to be due on November 7th. But the thing is, it's a weekly soft reconciliation, right? So what I want to do is make it recurring, which is one of the things I absolutely love about Asana. So you can you can set to repeat, And it automatically defaults to this repeat 7 days after completion. And I like to always update this because if it's a weekly item that I need to handle, so I want it to repeat weekly on the same day every week, so that I make sure I'm working on my new clients' books every Thursday. So Thursday is the day I'm going to be working on their stuff. And then you can click on done, and automatically you see this little circle that tells you this is going to be a recurring thing. Make sure to assign it to yourself, and then you can close that out. And then same with this. Sometimes you need to correspond with your clients on a weekly basis. Sometimes you don't need to respond to them on a weekly basis. It really is up to you and your client. I like to make sure that I'm talking to my clients on a weekly basis, and I usually say the weekly emails are going to be on the same day that those soft reconciliations are, because maybe as I'm going through the soft reconciliations, I find that I have a question and I want to make sure that I send that email out to my clients. So all of that gets done on the same day. So again, we're going to set to repeat weekly every 1 week on Thursdays. All right, so now that's set up. So the hard credit card statement reconciliation and the hard bank statement reconciliation, these are going to, and then if you have the savings account, you also want to make sure you have a hard savings account reconciliation. Now, with these ones specifically, you want to make sure that you put this around the time when the credit card statement ends. So it's not usually on like a day 1 to day 30 kind of thing. It's usually, day 2 to day 1, or day 2 to day 30, or day 16 to day 15. So it's like it kind of runs the gamut on like when they close their statements. So you want to make sure that you correspond this with the closing date. So let's say their closing date is going to be November 10th, but sometimes the statements don't come out until a couple days later. So I'm going to say November 12th. So we're going to set to repeat. And since this is just a once a month type of task, we're just going to repeat it once a month. So this is going to say monthly, every 1 month on the 12th. So that sounds about right to me. So I'm going to click on done here and make sure to assign it to you. For the bank statements, I usually put this as the first day of the next month. The first day of the next month. So if I am working on the November bank reconciliation, I want to make sure that it's going to be the first of the following month. So I'm going to say December 1st, even though that's a Sunday, set to repeat, and it's going to repeat on a monthly basis every 1 month on the first day of the month. Make sure to assign it to yourself. All right, so now let's take a look at our calendar and see what it looks like. So each project is set up with its own kind of like tabs up here at the top. So when I look at the calendar perspective, I want to make sure I can see all the tasks that are due, that are coming due. And I usually like to take weekends to show weekends here, because then that gives me the full perspective of the whole month. So like, for example, we're going to be looking at November here. The new client contract is the first thing that comes up, and then the weekly soft reconciliation, weekly emails, hard credit card reconciliation, and then let's see here, there's the bank reconciliation. So the really cool thing about this is if you have this set to repeat, you can automatically check mark these off when you get them done, and you can go in here and check it off, or you can click on the task and then you can mark it complete. If you do that, then what it's gonna do, so first of all, it tracks every change here. So it tells you exactly what happened, like who did what basically. But the cool thing about the recurring tasks here, see, I'm gonna mark both of these off and you'll see it populate right down here. There it is. So when you have these tasks set up as recurring, that is like the best thing you can do, because then you know exactly, like, this is going to keep you on task. So this is why I love Asana. So I'm going to show you another perspective, and when you come over to this 3-bar tab, so if you click on this My Tasks thing, you will be able to see all of these tasks that are assigned to you in this one monthly perspective. So you can take a look at it as a month, like as a calendar month. You can take a look at it as a board. You can take a look at it as a list. And this is like, just Asana is a genius for keeping us on task and ready to go every month. So if you wanted to keep this perspective, like you always want to see the weekends, you're going to have to come up here and let's see here, save layout as default. And then when you switch between each of these tabs up here, it'll always show you the weekends. So that's pretty much how I keep all of my bookkeeping clients super happy and on task. I hope that was so helpful for you guys, and that you will learn how to use Asana for your own bookkeeping needs. Maybe it's a personal need, maybe it's for your family. Whatever the case may be, whatever you liked about this video, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you are the first to know of new YouTube videos coming right up.